Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Hope you all are doing well. Good evening. Hope everyone is doing well. We are here. If you cannot hear us, please give us a thumbs up in the comments or say something. I take it you can hear me well because I see Cheryl Strong saying good evening. Hopefully everyone is doing well. Um, it's I guess, beautiful day in Zamunda. As you can see, we are back at our homestead. Thank God. I couldn't take. They just gonna have to make it do what it do. Anybody who's here, whatever they hear, that's their problem and their business, not mine. Of course, we have the executive producer, the missus, in the house. I hope she's not gonna look like that the whole show. Good evening, girl fam. Say hello to the people.
Hello, people. How are you? Hello. How are you?
Are you going to speak that low? Because I can barely hear you, so I know they can barely hear you. Seems like I can't be seen. There we go. Um, I hope everybody is doing well. I hope everything is going well. Um, it's been a hell of a day, a hell of a week as always. But we're here. Let's start there. So much to unpack, so much to talk about, so much to think about. I was asked specifically, tagged, and asked to do this show. It's not our regular show as we've been doing our live summer sessions, teaching you how to explore your body and get to know your other side. A good friend of mine in Humble, Texas asked me to do a repeat, a part two of this show. And I thought we had gotten through and let everybody know how we felt about certain things or how they should think about certain things. And so I'll just go back right quick. Uh, we also have Big Uncle Trap in the house, the Honorable Trap Jr. J.E., what it do? What it do? What's up? What's up?
Hey, what's second with it? What's second with it? Shit, you know what it is? A long week. You know how we do.
Man,
I'm telling you, it's been a long one, for real.
it's been a long
For
one,
real.
and for whatever reason, it don't look like it's getting any shorter. I thought
It
that
ain't letting up. It ain't
it's
letting up.
not.
Mm-mm.
Hmm.
It ain't letting up. It's gonna be look, it's gonna be a Monday every day the rest of this week.
And that is not a good damn thing. It is
For
not
real.
good. It's not good. What you smoking on? What you smoking on over there?
Shoot, man, I done, picked up this Perdomo Habano. So
Okay.
it's a fresh new one they just put out. So, just trying
I
it
was
out,
gonna
see
say
how I
that
feel
must be
about it.
new because they had the
Mm-hmm.
what 20th anniversary and the 10th anniversary.
Yep, they had the 10th anniversary, the 20th anniversary, and then then the champagne version. So this one is a Habano.
Yeah.
So it smoked pretty good.
Okay.
It's straight.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
you guys, I made a post. Let me go ahead and put it out there. On this post, let's get this thing started. Boundaries, healthy boundaries are needed and necessary in every relationship that you have, be it your kids, parents, family, friends, colleagues, even your damn church. Don't fall victim to allowing your peace to be broken simply because you don't want to implement boundaries or because someone wants to push their boundaries on you. Try setting some. It's really not that hard. In the words of Kenny Rogers, one of my favorite movies, The Gambler, know when to walk away, know when to run. So a good friend of ours, a good friend of the show, Tina Mims out in Humble, Texas, made these comments on this post. Um, Let me hold on. Is that the first comment she made? Have you done a live about this? This topic should be addressed. Once I was grown, my parents owed me nothing. They bitch and complain, girl. I don't have time for that. I love my kids, but I'm not doing this with them. Always wanting a handout and acting like their childhood was so horrible. I pray to God Almighty that when I get married, hopefully next year, that my spouse and I stay united in our decision that my children will be independently free. Independent. And she asked me to have this conversation because so many times we fall victim to feeling guilty because we cut our damn grown children off, and we shouldn't. I've been seeing this post, and I meant to pull it from Facebook, and they were saying that they're that parent. My children can always come home, and don't get me wrong, because we have had grown children come back home to stay. Your children always have a space in your parents' house or home, hopefully. However, when they come back to the parents' home, more than likely things have changed. Those single mothers are no longer single. They're now married mothers. Those single fathers are no longer single fathers. They're now married fathers. And when it comes to the hierarchy of the home, the spouses, the mates, are the hierarchy.
Right.
We're the top of the food chain. Other than God, we come below God, but we're the top of the food chain. Everyone else comes below us. If you have a problem with that, guess what? That's your problem. And I know, J.E., you don't have children, but you're very instrumental in the young people's lives, as well as the lives that your nieces. Their decisions will be affected by you. Your decision will be affected on them. And so you as a grown man, I know you got out the house, took off running. Boom, speed of light. If you were to go back to Mama Ellison house today, would she set boundaries for you?
So to be honest, I think I would know to already come with them though. You know what I'm saying? Like already established. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't care how old I am or to what space I've gotten in. I already know that there's a certain level of respect that I'm gonna have for her that it ain't even got to be no type of conversations when it comes to that. And so I think a lot of times too, a lot of people they don't establish boundaries beforehand. And so when you let stuff slide so much, it's almost to a point then to where, because I mean, let's be honest here. I don't care what me and my sisters may have in houses, property, or whatever. Even if in the presence of her, no matter who the ownership is or anything else, it's certain shit we just ain't gonna do around her.
Right.
So it ain't even really about being in her house. It's the concept of shit. Even if she in ours, it's still gonna be like some. Hey, you know, LaMama, you gonna have to go find you something safe to do. Even that's my house, you gotta go find you something safe to do because you know, when my mom in the spot, it ain't nothing to go there. You know, for real, for real. So you just gotta treat
Well,
that situation of boundaries that were already established, but not just the boundaries, but the respect.
it's something you want to interject here or want me to go on with my question?
Okay.
Well, okay, I agree. There's certain things that you just know. If when your parents come to your home, it's your home. There's certain things you have to be careful with. However, devil's advocate, you're married though. You have a wife. Your
Absolutely.
mother comes to stay with you.
And that's true. And that's real. But you know what? I think it ain't no concept that I'm gonna disrespect my wife, but I'm gonna make sure she good. I'm gonna make sure she in a space where she ain't got to worry about nothing. But I kind of feel like if that relationship is already built between my wife and my mother, that respect is like already there also. So I don't really see my mother, number one, doing anything to disrespect or make my wife feel any kind of way. That's number one because that's something I'm gonna establish between me and my mama before she
Right.
even come into my house with me and my wife. My wife gonna always feel safe in her house, and no matter what my mama, like I say, my mama just ain't supposed to be on no bullshit. Now, if she
Right.
decided she want to be on some bullshit, then I'm gonna call one of the sisters and go, "Hey, come get your mama."
Boy, you sound like me. Because I didn't call, I don't have no sisters,
Come
but
get
I didn't call her sister and be like, hey, get her mom. Because we have to,
come get your mama.
yeah, because we have to understand certain things. We're currently living through some of these things. And I think that might be why she wants to talk about it. We've had an adult child move back in, as well as my mother staying here. I've talked to you all, not really about it, but it's kind of like I'll be like, hey, mom, you got to eat in here in the dining room. She go get her food, take it to the bedroom. We don't eat in the bedroom. I'm like, yeah, I know
Right,
she heard me, but she's
yeah,
spoiled as well. So
right, right,
there are boundaries that have been set. If I felt at any time that she had a problem with my wife, then I would just have to make other arrangements.
Absolutely.
Because
Absolutely.
like I tell my grown children, the whole thing is this is our house. This is our established homestead. And so any child, whether it's hers or mine, that don't like the rules and engagement, you just have to. Hell, we had a child leave. I guess one day of rules, and they was like, the hell with that. I'm out of here.
That's not why he left. His woman came and picked him up.
His woman came pick him up after
Oh,
one day
that's
of rules.
beautiful.
He was
That's
like,
perfect.
rules, right? Jonathan
Oh,
said, "Oh,
yeah.
that's perfect."
Yeah, but I think one of the things that you got to look at with that situation though is that you know what I'm saying. Hey, when you know you entering into somebody else's home, you kind of look for whatever little leverage you possibly think you can get. But you get to a certain point and you like, you know what? If it's somewhere for me to go where I can have more freedom, then I'm out. I'm gonna let you later. So it's just
What
it's a thin line though. It really is. It's a thin line and it's a real touchy subject when it comes to kids, parents, and
right?
spouses. It's rough.
It's real. It's a very thin line. Good evening. What's up, Mike? What's up, Kyle? John, let me ask you about boundaries within the workplace. Boundaries within the workplace.
Well, wait, let's go
Okay.
back to this. So this is my thing. This is my question. So the
Mm-hmm.
friend that contacted us, it wasn't about parents. It's about their grown kids
Yeah, all of
in
her.
their.
She has three sons. They're all established. They're all over 25. The baby boy,
Okay.
I believe they're all over 25. So they're all
Okay.
grown.
So her
Okay.
problem is her boundaries with her
Yeah, you
grown.
can tag her in this.
Her boundaries is with her grown kids within her house. So
Okay.
my mother has Gussie was always a single parent, independent single parent, and she
Mm-hmm.
raised two boys and
Right.
myself. And she didn't believe in sparing the rod, but we were always scared of Gus. But Gussie
That's
came,
important.
she came with rules and regulations. And if something, and she was ever changing those rules. So if something was going on in her house that she did not like, she would tell you first. And then the next day when we woke up, it was a physical rule written and posted in her house
Mm-hmm.
for
So is
us
that
to
the
see.
same as okay? She would write. You know how back in the day our parents would leave the rules on a piece of mail. The
Shoot,
kitchen better
sure.
be cleaned up before you go to bed.
Oh,
So
You
do
let me
take a
tell you, Gussie would
on the back of the liquor
handwrite.
bill.
on the back. Yeah.
Oh, Gussie would handwrite on a piece of paper, take it to work and then laminate it and then post it. So she would tell us the rule at that moment, the new rule that she saw. It wasn't me because I was younger, but them older boys would do stuff they had no business. Like they used to like to entertain. Let me give you this example. Like my brother's are 10 and 12 years older than me. So I was always the youngster and I was the girl, and she felt like I was very impressionable. And she would tell them, now I'm raising a young woman. You can't bring your female friends back to my house and take them in your bedroom because I have a female here.
Right.
So they would try to get the up and up on Gussie and me and wait till we go to bed and then sneak them in the house and go in the bedroom, not realizing that mama had the ears of a chill pad while she was up. But then when she would go to sleep, she was sound asleep.
That would never
And
work.
and then they would sneak them out early in the morning before Gussie wake up, not realizing that girl Gussie was a private investigator. If anything was out of place, she would know it. So then the next morning we wake up and there's a note. Do not bring anyone in my house after I go to bed. You know what I mean? So it was stuff like that, but it was a good rule because I was a young girl and she didn't want me to think it was okay to bring boys in the house and have them in my bedroom.
Right.
So it was stuff like that. Things would come up because she wanted them to understand that it was her house and it was her rules,
Yeah, go ahead.
and
It was
even
her
though
rule.
she was a woman, they were boys. They were still gonna respect her house and follow her rules. And if they didn't like it at any time, they could leave. So this is my thing. So as a woman, and we have boys, because I have my oldest and dearest. And the same thing I used to try to do is when I was single and then even single in the house, is I would try to lay out the rules and then enforce them. And I know every now and then it's a little hard as a single woman to enforce some of those rules
Is it harder, or are people just becoming more complacent and lazy with
I mean,
enforcing the rules?
no, sometimes you can tell them the rules, but sometimes these boys still find a way around the rules. Sometimes.
No, the
So
reason why I say, the reason why I say it's not hard enforcing. Mama Ellison just told us 3 weeks ago about
yeah,
how
but
Jonathan thought he was
everybody,
gonna smell his own ass, and she
yeah,
was like,
but
"Oh, okay."
everybody didn't have a Mama Ellison or a Gussie because the boys never got out of line
For
with Gussie.
real.
Jonathan never got out of line with Mama Ellison, but our friend is having a little issues with her boys. So I'm saying
Mm-hmm.
it's sometimes, it's a line there that they're trying to establish the rules, but somehow the rules are getting out of hand and bounds. Like our friend is setting up boundaries, but the boys are still finding ways to get
I don't
around the
even think it's
boundaries.
that. I don't even think it's that they are. I think it's more so. This is just my take. I'll say this. Um,
That she don't have the rules established.
because we have tried, especially a lot of mothers with their sons, they try to be their friends. That's my baby boy. I love my boys.
Yeah.
This, that, and the other.
And my
So,
problem.
what you were saying? Okay, yeah. So they love their baby boys. They oldest and the dearest. Y'all love y'all boys so much. So y'all give them a lot of passes. And the problem a lot of times lies is that when women, single mothers, go to start dating men and establish themselves in relationship, those single boys don't have the boundaries set that they need to have
And
set.
sometimes their protective nature come in.
Is
They
it
were
protected nature? Or they just don't want nobody slapping their mama on the
I
ass.
don't know. Well, see, you have to understand, they were the boys quote men in the house for a minute,
But
and
they were
now,
never the men. That's the
but
problem.
that's what I'm saying. In their eyes, not ours. In their eyes, they were.
But you can't let them think they the men.
Okay, but they the ones in the house. If I'm a man, I'm a boy, I'm a woman, and he a boy. If I hear something in the middle of the night, who gonna get up? Not he gonna get up. When the trash gotta go out at night, he was the one getting up.
But do he pay the bills when he get up to take the trash out?
Of
That don't
course,
make him the
I am
man of
the.
the house.
It don't, but in a sense, when we are single parents, we are raising our boys to become men. So you can't have it both ways. You
Yes, you
can't
can.
have it to say I'm raising him to be a man. We raising you. You are in essence the man of the house when he the only one in the house. But then you want it the other way. You ain't the man of the house. You ain't her man. It's double sided because when I became a single parent, when I divorced and there was this lapse in time where there was no one but me and my child, it's double sided because I got people telling Tony, now you know you the man of the house. You got to look after your little sister. You got to look after. This was before you, but this is what people are telling them. You know you are the man of the house. You got to look after your little sister. You got to make sure your mama good because these were the things that people were telling him. So you got
Right.
people that are telling boys, you are the man of the house now. You got to look after this. You got to make sure this good. And then in the next essence, when somebody else steps in, you ain't the man of the house. You're not her man. So you got to think of it that way. You never, per se, I know Tyler is your nephew's son, and you did help raise him. But in the essence, I'm saying you did with, the two DJ him, and I'm not taking that away from you. But do you get what I'm saying in the essence
No,
of
I'm gonna tell you. I get
you're
what
not
you.
lit? But
No, I can
I'm
listen.
telling you my
Right.
experience that
I'm
in
saying
that
I can
lapse
get
of
what you're
time,
saying and why
that is
people
what
say that.
happened
But I
with
wish
Tony.
people would stop telling these young
And that
boys
and I'm
that
telling
you're
you
the
that is
man of the
what
house,
happened.
because in essence, where they think that they're the man of the house, they think that extends to the mother. I'm literally the man of the house. So the mama can't go out and get a man. The mama can't go out and date. The mama can't tell me shit because I'm the man of the house. And they get mixed signals.
They do, but at the
And
Right.
age of 10, 11, 12, where this is happening to the boys, by the time they get 15, 16 in their teens, when they got to transition out of, oh, my mama dating now, she got somebody else in her life. Well, for 2, 3 years, 4 years, somebody has been telling them from preteen to teen, hey, you the man of the house now. You got to look after your little
That's
sister,
why
your
black.
mama.
But you
Then
know,
you got
that
to,
happens
we
in
have to
black.
So
take that out of there.
Go ahead. That happens in black households. I don't really see white households telling their young boys, "Be the man of the house." That black
right.
people do that. Go ahead, Johnny.
Yeah, they do.
So I can use my situation. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, you know what I'm saying. There was this gap where you know what I'm saying. Shit, like I said, it was my grandparents that was helping my mom raise me, and so then when I was in her house or whatever before my sister's dad came along, there was a still a respect that was there for me that didn't allow me to cross the line to make me think that I was the man of the house. It was just that I had responsibilities in the house. And so I think that's what
Yeah.
people got to know what the difference is.
Come
I
on
was
now.
told I had responsibilities in the house, and my responsibility was to protect the house. Now, when it got to the other side of things, there was never a space where I thought I ran anything. And so that's where sometimes people need to figure out what that breaking point is. Because even when she started dating my sister's father, it was slowly brought in the way that it was done. And so even then, she never made him feel like he can tell me what to do or how to handle a situation or anything else. Because even in that, even with him as a man coming into that household, she still had a fear invoked in that still controlled how that household ran. So it was like he couldn't say shit to me unless I developed a respect for him and said, I'm cool with him telling me what to do. Because at this point, if he's in there helping pay bills and stuff too, and I ain't paying no bills, bro, I kind of got to give you a certain level of respect. So it's a conversation that has to happen. Again,
That's
when
a
you
that's a
mention
good point right there.
now, what I
Go ahead.
will say is with y'all friend situation, I'm not telling people that you because here's my thing. My mama ain't never beat me or nothing like that. She had them 2 times she knocked the shit out of me and I learned my lesson. That was it.
It didn't take but two
Four.
times.
That's it. I was done. I was good. I wasn't even fucking with it no more. So, but what I gotta say is a lot of some of these mothers, let me say not a lot, some of these mothers give their young men so much power within the household without some fear being with it. And I think that's what people got to understand a lot of time with these young men. You can give them power, but you still got to invoke fear. Fear
Mhm.
controls power, and you don't get too much power and lose your mind. Now,
Well,
if
you
she
know
got some
that
20
that
something
fear
years,
is a double-edged sword, Johnson. Because let me tell you, Gussie had the fear of God in all three of her children. So much
hmm
so that I didn't. I'm fearful that I have some of Gussie in me. So because of me knowing that I have Gussie in me, I did not want to raise my children with my hands on them because I know Gussie had so much fear, and when she laid hands on us, it was laid on us. So therefore, I didn't want to use my hands on my children because I know that parts of Gussie are is inside of me, and I didn't want to unleash that on my children.
But can I add something?
So therefore, I spared the rod.
I understand why you say yeah, but at times you can't spare the rod when you know your children. When you know your
yeah,
children and their
My
offspring.
children are not
No,
horrible. You make it sound like they're
I'm talking about your
oh,
children in general.
because you're not talking about my children. Okay, got
Your children ain't horrible, but they hard headed as fucking your son don't listen to shit.
I wouldn't say
He
that.
doesn't. He doesn't
I
listen to
wouldn't say
anything you
that.
say. That's neither here nor there. What I'm saying to you, with knowing now, Gussie invoked fear in you guys. She raised her hand to you guys first. Let me ask this question: are either one of her three children, you or your two brothers, are either of you all not doing well in life and society? I'm
No,
just
we
saying. No,
we
hold on,
we
hold
we
on.
we are all doing
You're
well.
all
Gus,
respectful, mannerable, law-abiding
but
citizens,
that's
good
it's not
jobs.
only because of the fear.
But it is. But
Gussie
it's
made
because of
sure
what she instilled in
it
you,
is
right?
because what she, but
That's what I'm
it's not
saying.
only because fear. Gussie made sure that education was the most important thing to us
Right.
because she was not educated. She had to drop out of school. She was the oldest to take care, back in the
Right.
day,
I
the
get that.
oldest
But
took
what I'm
care of those.
saying
So
is how
education, so
Gussie raised boys in the 70s
she
and
raised
80s
men. They
when
are men.
that's all I'm getting.
They
Gussie
are men.
raised men. She ain't raised a boy. She raised two men. Now
Mm-hmm.
they might have their
Real talk.
flaws and faults on the other side, but she raised respectful, honorable men, good law-abiding citizens, and they listened to her. They might not have liked it. Now, when they got older, they went their own way, but they listened to her while in the household. Good evening, everybody. A few comments.
Wait, let me
Go
say
ahead.
this. Jonathan said something about when his mother decided to be with his sister's father.
Right. Mm-hmm.
That's a very interesting point because my brothers have their father and I have my father. But I talk about sometimes that there is a little distinction in the ranks with my brothers and my father and me. So it seems like that when my father came around in the household, like Jonathan said, his mother established that you were going to respect the father. Not that I don't know, something in there happened where is they were I don't know if they were the men in the house or what,
I
but
didn't know them then, but I don't believe that's what happened with your brothers. I believe that your brothers, well, this ain't my daddy, and I know my daddy. A lot of young boys, especially black boys, get into that. You ain't my dad. You can't tell me shit.
which that's what
You
happened to
ain't my
Tony
mama. You can't tell
and
that.
Mr.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's not just Tony and Mr. Tony and me. And he chose
Why
not to
why
listen.
is that with black? I wish some men would chime
Because a
in
lot of
and
times the men,
tell
yes,
me
men speak. A lot of times
why is that?
the men
Because
are in
as
the
a
boys' ears, telling them,
yeah,
that ain't your daddy, and you ain't got to do what he say.
that's what Big Tony did when I was married to Mr. Toad, Little Tony. And I didn't know it at the time. But I
Mm-hmm.
also told him, that's not your daddy. Don't listen to nothing he say. And I was like, that's crazy because that's literally my husband. And it just caused dissension in the household. So you have a child that's stuck in the middle that don't know, do I do what my daddy say? Or do I listen to what my mom and my stepfather say? So we
Or
always
listen to
got
the
Well,
folks
I
that's paying the
think,
bills
problems
in your
in the
house.
house. But given he was 4 years old, he's a child that while he's in the house,
Respect,
he's trying to do what's
respect
done in the
across the
house.
board until respect goes
yeah,
across the board
but I think,
unless something different is established.
right,
Hold on that
and
thought,
so,
Oh,
Jonathan. Kane
okay,
is in
hold
the
on
okay,
house.
1 second. Good evening. We
good.
got our brother from another mother. It's been a while. Good evening, Kane. What's up?
Hey,
Hey there,
Kane.
people. What's going on? What's going on?
What's
Man,
second
we
with it?
talking
What's second
about
with it? What's second with it?
these
What's up,
young.
Trap Uncle?
What's going on, big dog? What's second with it?
Nothing much at all.
Our
You already
conversation so
know.
far is about these grown children and the lines of respect that they have to show and the boundaries, especially
Right.
if they're mothers who have been single for years, no longer with their fathers, and
Mm,
trying to date someone new. Yeah.
yeah,
So,
yeah. I
Jonathan,
know
what were
about
you
that.
about to
There.
say? Uh oh.
Yeah, no. I mean, I guess the biggest thing is too, I think there's respect and there's establishing rules. But I think a lot of times too, and we got to be real careful with this direction we about to go in this. But
Uh oh.
my mama wasn't running no bunch of niggas through our house either.
You didn't meet him
And
unless it got serious.
there you go. And so it wasn't no situation to where I seen no bunch of motherfuckers coming through. And then I want to say even this, still much respect to my stepfather. He didn't come in trying to invoke no rules on me like, oh, you gonna do what I tell you to do type of shit. He kind of came in and he kind of showed me like, okay, during a certain time period, he was a decent human being towards my mother. And so for me, that helped me establish a level of respect for him. And then that shit happened it happened in a level to where it was like, okay, you seem cool. You don't treat me no different. You ain't never said nothing fucked up crazy to me, nothing like that. And so it eventually put me in a space where I was just like, okay, if he moving in and if I see him handling stuff around the house and he having conversations with me or coming to me being like, hey, what's up? You need something, or you need a ride somewhere, or you need this. I think it was just the way that it happened. I think a lot of times we just got to be careful when we running a bunch of motherfuckers through our house,
Right.
but then you want them to respect everybody. The child get
No.
confused in a motherfucker.
Yeah, and I think like
Yeah.
with me, I established when I started, showed respect. I was supportive, tried to be there. Let me show you something different. You into drums, you into the band. Let me take you over here and hear this live band. Let me do these types of things. Now things went awry
Mm-hmm.
because I employ Kane. I want to hear your thought, but ladies, stop making y'all children y'all best friend. This is my broke little best friend. Y'all think that shit is cute until
This shit
they
ain't cute.
really think that they your best friend.
She
And
ain't talking about me. Tony was my broke best
I'm
friend.
not talking
Oh,
what
okay.
girl. You just be going. Yes, Jonathan, fall out. Please fall out. What? I said, ladies.
Okay.
To the camera.
Whew.
Ladies, stop calling these children your little broke best friends because the problem comes in that they think that they run neck and neck with you like your best friends do, and that they can say and establish and do anything, and they can't. And so the problem comes in when it's time for correction. Your little broke best friend don't take correction because they're your best friend. They're not your child anymore. You have established a different set of lines. So when they see you going through things with your significant other, now they got this hate and this anger built up. A lot of times, things that children see and witness they shouldn't witness. Kane, you said you know all about that. I'm gonna get to
Yeah,
these comments in a second,
of
y'all.
course, of course, I know all about it because I was married to somebody that was kind of like that. Didn't want their child to be
Look,
disciplined
hold
by
on,
someone
Kane.
else.
Kane jumped in like he had never left. Kane, Kane just came right back with the
I mean,
goods.
Look,
yeah, I mean, it
Kane,
just is what it is. I mean,
Kane
Okay.
came in. Kane was like,
yeah, but you know what, y'all? I mean, I don't understand what it is. We got a new era of parents these
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
days. A lot of the parents that grew up, and I kind of find out that it's a lot of women in their 30s and stuff like that, grew up, they got these children, and they're not disciplining these children. I don't know what it is, a
That's
lot
they
of them
broke best
feel,
friend.
yeah,
How can you discipline your
they
best friend?
and they be like, well, I don't want to do my child like I grew up, getting these ass whoopings, getting butt whoopings, and all that kind of stuff. I mean, the thing about it is, okay,
You
you,
ain't die. Did you die?
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Almost.
You
But
a
you
pretty
not
good
dead.
person.
You
You a
alive.
pretty good
You're a good
person
person.
from your
Almost.
ass whoopings,
Girl.
but your child is a fucking Chucky. Like one of my
Right.
ex-girlfriends, when I tell you she has a 4-year-old that is a damn beast. When I tell you, I mean a beast.
Hey, we missed you because you know
No,
don't care
I'm
what
not
you say.
doing that. No.
For
And
real.
cusses, tell his sister, shut up, bitch. And I be on the phone with, I'm like,
A 4 year
slap that
old?
little nigga in his mouth. What you doing? I mean, because if
He
I got a
definitely
child and
does.
he calling his sister a bitch, I be damned if I'm not gonna haul off and slap his
For
little
real.
ass straight in the mouth.
Yeah.
For
Now you're
real.
right.
I'm
I
going
agree.
the little teeth you got in there. I swear to God, I'm gonna knock one loose.
For real. I'm gonna
And
go. I'm gonna go get you
these
together.
kids,
For real.
these mamas,
Disclaimer.
a lot of these mamas, they feel it's funny. They teach them to cuss,
Mm-hmm.
bitch,
That
hoe,
is not cute.
motherfucker, yada
Then when
yada,
they in
and
school,
that's what I'm saying.
getting called
Yeah,
every day. Yeah,
yeah.
that's not cute.
That shit ain't cute, man. You
For
need
real.
to raise these children the way we used to be raised, getting ass whoopings, if
Mm-hmm.
you want to call them beatings, getting beatings, whatever, But yeah, all this stuff.
One
Oh
thing,
man,
well,
Yeah.
I will say they might not like how we were raised, getting our butts tore up, getting the extension cord cells, but we're not
Mm-hmm.
the ones out here standing in the middle of downtown Shreveport shooting and killing random people that we don't
man,
Right.
even
who?
know. We're not the
Right.
ones shooting up block parties, killing people that we
That's
don't
it.
even know. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So, let me get to a few of these comments. Tyler, good evening, everybody. Good evening. Tyler Burton says, "Man in the house," in quotes, is probably more accurate. Not man of the house, man in the house. I agree. He should be the man in the house, not of the house, because he ain't paying no bills. He's not controlling the house. Erica Gant, Sharina says, why would you give a child that responsibility? I agree. When you put that stigma on a child and give that child that responsibility, you the man of the house. It's up to you and this, that, and other. His mentality switches.
But it's oftentimes not the mother in the house that's doing it. It's other people that are outside the house that are talking
Well,
to
that's the
the
problem.
child, telling
That's the
them
problem.
that they need to look out for somebody in the
That's the
house.
problem. That's the
Because
problem.
it was not me telling my child that it was per se if the Gussie when I wasn't there, or the brothers when I was not there, saying, hey, look out. Well, to me, initially I didn't see nothing wrong with it. You are telling a 10-year-old, watch out for your little sister. Watch out for your mama when you're in the house. It's the word. I think it's the wording that is wrong. It's a little wording that needs to be changed. But the guidelines that you're trying to teach the child, watch out for your little sister. You're in the house. Watch out for your mom. The wording is wrong, but I think the principles that they are trying to teach the young men is still the same.
But I'm gonna tell you what the biggest problem is too. A lot of these mothers that are in the house, and we're gonna look at the situation that we're talking about. My biggest thing was, number one, whatever go on in this house, don't leave out their door.
That's my rule. Whatever happens
Number
in my
two,
house stays in my house.
but here go number two.
Come on with it.
Number two is, I don't care. The elders, the mamas, the grandmamas, all of that, they need to stop talking to their children, talking to their grandchildren as if their mama is not capable of handling her business like she needs to. Because here's the problem.
Remember this conversation.
And you see, I
right. Because
just like you told Skylar,
when
get that baby out that tub. He's scared. Remember that? So these new grandmamas better remember.
These grandmamas, when they try to go into the house and make mama act like she ain't got sense enough to raise her children, you gotta be careful with this.
Say it again, Jonathan. Say it one more time for this new G over here. No. Say it again.
You gotta be careful with this.
That's a good fact. That's a good fact, Jonathan. And that's one thing about me. My mom, when it came to my children, and still this day when it comes to my children, far as the discipline that I put on my children, my mama didn't step in there. My mama didn't step in there. Oh, don't do this, don't do that, yada, yada, yada.
I'm sorry for you, because my grandmother saved my life several times. Because when I tell you, Gussie believes in using that rod, that hand, that wrap, even when it wasn't always warranted. Because back in the day, some of our parents, took out a little aggression on us back in the day. They was a little bit withered. Some of my parents have been through some things. But sometimes them grandparents can step in and save a child's life. Now, I don't believe in grandparents just telling the child how to raise them. But sometimes grandparents step in for some of us grandchildren when needed. And trust me. So I think that's a thin line that you have to say, I ain't going to tell you how to raise your child. But when you ask me for advice, I'm going to give it. But I'm also watching you. Because if your hand is too heavy on my baby, then we gonna have a conversation.
But we got to be careful. But we got to be careful with that baby shit though, because
right now, baby, he is a baby.
but what I'm saying is, when that child gets to a certain age where they can make decisions and they out in the world, you can't keep babying the motherfucker, because the babies is the one that's out there shooting.
Baby, my oldest is there. You taking it.
I just called him that.
No, what he's saying.
Well, no. I'm not saying with you.
What he's saying is in general. We start saying those things. Oh, my baby.
Don't touch my baby. Don't do this.
My baby's gonna be 31. She gotta have some accountability.
The baby I was talking about was literally the grandbaby that I was talking about right there.
No, but that's different. Yeah.
He was in the tub screaming and hollering, and like I told his mama, he's 6 weeks. His nuts ain't that dirty. If he gotta
Right.
have a bath every day, he's screaming and hollering. Take him out. Feed him.
Right.
Put him
Yeah.
to
No,
bed.
we ain't
It's
talking
not
about
that
we ain't
crucial.
we ain't talking
That's
about
what
at that
she
level.
was. That's why
We
she
talking
going
about
off on me. Talking about you
oh
told
yeah,
him
no.
her to take him out.
Nah,
Listen,
nah,
it
nah,
was
nah, nah,
still
nah.
at the top. He wanted some tip. It was time to
We ain't
eat
talking about
some.
at that
He
level.
got
We
out.
talking about
He got
we
out
talking
that
about
tub and was like, "Ooh, thank you."
yeah.
That was
We talking about
fine.
we talking about at the level where you know that your mama would have knocked the shit out of you if you talk back to the teacher. And then when you talk back to the teacher, and then your grandmama come along and go, "Oh, that baby, they're just, he just expressing himself. How he
Mm.
expressing himself?" But then when I did it that one time, when I told the teacher, let's be real here. That time I told the teacher that she was stupid and she was wrong because Christopher Columbus didn't discover America. American Vespucius did. My mama came up there and knocked my ass up under the school.
Now, Jonathan, you probably told the teacher to mind your motherfucking business.
Look, and so here was the concept. When my mama knocked me up under the school, guess who else came and bagged her up on knocking me under the school? My grandmama did. So it's that support that these mothers need from the grandparents to establish the same things that they did with them. But when you coming along and you beating the child, and then the grandmama come, don't beat on that baby, leave him alone. You can come over here to grandmama house when she do something to you and everything else. You looking at her then going, well, wait a minute. You just taking
Mm-hmm.
away all of the strength that I've established to make him be somebody. You taking it back from me. You lose it.
Right.
No.
And some of my comments, I went too far. I'm trying to. Tina Mills, she said she's on here. She said she always established that her children were children in her house. I'm gonna have to go back and respond to some of those things. Tina says I have been very fortunate that my sons did not and have not crossed the line. They told me they trusted my judgment. Great job. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Sharina Dow said, heck, 80% of us are not with any of their dads. Correct. It is relationship building. And so we just wanted to come on and have this conversation because, like I say, people don't understand. A lot of times it is wording, what you say. You cannot give
Mm-hmm.
these children, especially these generational children, you
Right.
can't give them an inch because them little Negroes take 12 miles.
And
And
you know
so,
what? I heard y'all saying something about somebody coming in, stepping in, when the dad ain't there and all that kind of stuff. Okay. Another thing, and I've always felt, this kind of way about this. I talked to my one of my best friends about this. You got a lot of men that when another man steps in and you ain't
yeah,
been a daddy, you don't want that
come on.
other dude to be a
Uh
dad.
oh. Here we go. Here we go.
I
Here we
don't
go,
want
Kane.
nobody to touch my children.
I don't want nobody raising my son, but you're
But
not
Mm-hmm.
raising them.
you ain't raising them though.
Come
I
And you,
on.
got that situation right here going on right now. The girl I
mm-hmm.
talked to, I heard her having a conversation with her baby daddy, ex-husband, the other day. My daughter, they said something about the boy, the oldest boy said my daughter popped him, hit him or whatever, because she was babysitting him, but it turned
Sound
out
like
that it was a
me.
lie. But he like, I don't need nobody over there hitting my children. But you told this
You
boy
come hit them.
eight, that's the thing about it is you told this boy 8 months ago that you was coming to get him and spend time with him. This
Hmm.
8 months ago. She had
Hmm.
asked me something about, and I told her, I said, I believe in whooping ass. No matter who your kid. Your kid come over here, your child bad. I tell your child, hey, don't touch my stuff over there. Don't mess with that. And you go over
Get
there and
someone to
touch it
sit down.
again, you touch it
I'm gonna knock you
again,
up
I'm gonna
under
get a
something.
belt. Yeah, I'm gonna get a belt. I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
pop the shit out of your child. I'm just telling you.
Mm-hmm.
I done did it before. A girl I was talking to, she brought her son over there. It was his
And if
first
we
time
have to
coming over
break up
here.
behind it, we just break up
He was
behind it.
he was fucking with my shit.
And that's
I told
easy.
his little ass to get up and stop that, and he fell out and did something else. He fucked with it again. I came and got my belt and wrapped the shit out of him. But I told her though, I said, let me tell you something. As far as me and you being together, it's cool, but the child thing, I said I had to fuck your ex-husband up. Because I already
Mm-hmm.
know from your conversation, he sound like a bitch ass nigga.
For real.
And then
For real.
I actually heard his conversation. And when she got off the phone, when I looked at her and I told her, I said, you see that? Exactly what I said. So if I pop one of your children for doing what they supposed to do, he gonna come to Shreveport and want to fight. And I'm gonna have to put these goddamn paws on his ass.
That's it.
But you know,
For
but
real.
your children,
Go ahead.
and
What you
she's
say about
telling
that?
him,
Come on.
your
But
children
see,
out of hand.
but you know
Your
what?
children
But
out of
you,
hand, and your children need to be
but you just
disciplined.
said, but Kane, you know something you just said though,
What
Yeah,
is?
and you know the piece that was missing out of something you said, Kane.
What's
Guess
that?
guess what should have happened? She should have asked you for the belt to whoop his ass to respect you in your house.
You know what? That is true.
Sure.
But the thing
You
about it
see?
is, you got them mamas that just let their children do what the fuck ever, and it don't make no
Mm-hmm.
difference where they at. You can be at company, you can be at a guest house. They tear up shit at your house. No, you don't let your
Yep.
child tear up
So
shit. My
if you ain't
grandchildren,
establishing no rules for you leave the house, then
exactly.
you ain't gonna respect nobody at their house. That's it.
I can be
And
somewhere,
that's why
Jonathan.
these children out in the street right now acting a fool,
Shooting up
cussing folks
downtown.
out, shooting up
Yeah,
because they don't even respect their house.
yeah. I can be somewhere, and my
Come on.
grandchildren can be acting up at somebody's house. I tell my
And I'm gonna
grandchildren, sit
tell
your
them that
ass
right
down.
there. Yeah.
Sit your ass
I'm
down.
waiting on the day,
Mm-hmm.
Kane. I'm waiting
Yeah.
on the day Nugget
But
get to showing
me,
out, and I have to give
I'm
him that look. Ooh, I'm waiting.
I'm just not.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not that type of guy that I don't feel like a man cannot discipline my children, my child. When
I think that
my
adults should
ex-wife,
discipline children.
yes, exactly.
I'm not the type of
Especially,
person. If my child is anywhere doing something they ain't got no business, go on straighten that right then and then tell me about it later. Cause I tell her all the time, you are a representation of me. People
yeah,
call me all
yeah.
the time. I saw Pickle so and so. Oh, okay. And then Taylor say, Mom, I saw your sorrow, I saw so and so. So I tell her all the time, just like Gus used to tell me, people will come up to me, ain't you? I know your mom, I know your dad. You are always a representation of me. So act accordingly. But if you are not acting accordingly and one of my friends or sorrow see you doing something you ain't got no business and they know you, go handle that right then and tell me about it later. Because if you know her
Mm-hmm.
as Pickle, then that means you know her. And
Right.
she doing something she ain't got no business. Go on, take care of that and tell
Correct.
me about it later.
Yeah,
That's
That's
real.
how
yeah.
I was raised.
I
And
mean,
that's
Yeah.
how I
You know,
raised
because
you.
and I
too many
understand
kids
that.
not raised like that now.
Yeah, it's a lot of kids not raised like that. And I'm just
Mm-hmm.
like you, Pam. I'm that type dad. I'm that type dad. If you see mine out there acting a fool, get on her.
For real.
Get
For
on her.
real.
And
See, I
Mm-hmm.
mean,
while we're
I'm not gonna feel
look,
no kind of way you about you getting
while
on.
we're talking about this, I was tagged in this post because this is about this new generation. This new generation of men wants submissive providers. I keep seeing all these men talking about Jonathan, talking about the
Well,
women that
before we go there, I have a question. What
because it's
about
all
the
in
flip
that.
side? We've been talking about children and parents. What about the flip side of this? What about when the adult children come in the home and don't respect the parent?
Ooh,
Because
they got to go.
we got to side this because we are a blended family. So what about when the adult children come in the house and don't respect the other
They got to go.
mate in the house?
They
Then
got
what?
to
Yeah,
go.
you. If I don't give a damn
They
if you
got to
adult,
go.
you gonna respect. You gonna respect the grown up in the house. You gonna respect the grown up
Mm-hmm.
in the house. My
They
ex,
got
Mm-hmm.
once again,
they got
talking
to
about
go.
my ex-wife. Talking about my ex-wife. Her son. Her
Serena say,
son come
put
over there.
their ass out.
They got to
Yeah,
go.
look. He
Mm-hmm.
walk up
Hi,
in the house.
Carmen.
He walk in the house and not acknowledge me because you don't like me. You mad at me. Don't acknowledge me. I
They got
told
to
her. I told her, let me tell you something. Your son gonna stop coming up in my motherfucking house and not acknowledge me. I'm the man of
You
this
don't
house.
walk through my
They got
door
to
and not
go.
speak to me well.
That part.
My name
That
on this
part.
mortgage and not speaking to me.
They
Woo!
got to go.
I told her
Jesus.
if he
Real.
cannot acknowledge me and respect me as the man of this house, he don't cross the fucking threshold.
They
You
got to
you
go,
you
Kane.
you,
They got to go.
Shit.
you walk
That's
in
real.
our house and don't speak to the people whose name on the mortgage or paying the
That
bills.
part.
The lights are on in
That
this house
part.
because of A and B.
They got
I
to
don't
go.
understand. See?
But you know what? But you know what? I think it goes back to the whole situation again. Like again, yes, that is that person's child. But I feel like if I had that conversation with you one time, Because if you see your child disrespecting me, you go get that child and take that motherfucker and drag them outside and do something with them.
There you go, Jonathan. There you go.
You assuming that, because here's the thing. If I say something, you ain't gonna like the way it's gonna go. So what you want to do, if you spermicide this child, if you sperm, right, you ain't gonna like how I say it.
They got to go.
If you shit their mouth,
that's the truth. That's the truth. Because she gonna tell me, she told me, well, you need to say something to him. No, that's your child. Because the thing about it is, he was too sensitive. He was sensitive as hell because I cussed his ass out one time before, and his feelings was so hurt. So your child,
I bet you gave him a cussing.
I did give him a cussing one time. I'm gonna tell you what happened. Look, I'm gonna tell you what happened. The some bitches, it was shower gel bottles on the floor, Pam. It was 4 shower gel bottles on the bathroom floor. They had been there for a damn month. I'm wondering when they gonna get them up. So I walk in his room.
He do like me. I leave it there to see. You gonna keep walking by?
Yeah,
you gonna act like you don't
that's
see
what
it.
I was doing. So I walk in the room. I said, hey man, them shower gel balls in the floor. I said, you need to go pick them. And I was finna say pick them up. Oh, he cut me off. He was like, oh, buddy, all you had to say was get them up.
Buddy. What?
I looked at him. Yeah,
buddy.
I looked at him. I say, no. I say, no, you bitch ass nigga. I say, the thing about it is, your motherfucking ass knew they was in there on the goddamn floor for a fucking month. So why should I have to tell you to get the motherfuckers up? I say, then you gonna holler about this buddy shit. I say, shit, they been in there. So why the fuck I gotta tell you to get them up?
For real.
Oh, he was offended.
Baby,
he was highly
offended. Kane gave him a cussing out.
They get offended. Look, and the part of, like, I see Mayor Sunshine comment. She said they respect me and love me for treating them like mine, meetings and all. I ain't beat none of hers. I ain't really never had to beat mine because I just was looking at
I ain't beat none of yours either. I let her handle the discipline on hers and mine because they scared of her.
But please know and understand, by the time I get my hand to your neck, it went too far. It's over with. You can't stop my hand from getting to your neck. So if you don't like the established rules, if you don't like what I got to say, this ain't my girlfriend, this ain't my partner, this ain't my living, this is my wife.
I think that's the reason, and I think that's the reason too. And I think that's the reason too in my dating history that for the most part, I've had one time where I dated a woman that had a kid and that there was a headache. I think that's why moving forward, I've always stayed away from that. Because at the end of the day, I'm gonna be real honest with you. If the first time the daddy get out of hand and he feel like he gonna disrespect me,
he got to go.
He got to go because I'm gonna scorch the earth with him. And so he got to go.
You gonna do what to the earth?
Scorch the earth. So I knew that I didn't have the person.
Since I answered the phone, he was with that disrespect. I let him slide for a couple of years, but it was just that one day at Grambling State University. And he called and I said, he ain't got no better understanding than what the fuck he act like he got. He act like he dumb and slow. So let me break it down for it to forever be broke. Let me get the phone. I'm gonna answer the phone.
For real.
Where you at?
I think I had that one episode. Episode where I was with her and I had picked him up from school or whatever, brought him home or whatever like that. And she was on the phone with him, and this would let me know he was a bitch ass nigga.
Come on.
He pulled out in the street, not in the driveway, and rolled the window down, talking about, nigga, who told you to pick my son up?
In the street? Oh yeah, he's a bitch ass nigga.
I say
he a bitch ass nigga because he was in the street.
Wait a minute, Kane, but what made me mad?
Wait a minute, but this mama house in the street.
But this what made me mad.
Two dudes trying to fight me in the street. What?
Right. Look, but what made me mad was how you so concerned with picking him up today, but you ain't picked him up when I'm not
The
in
other
town.
364
The other
days.
353 times that you done left
Yeah,
him up at the school,
yeah.
it's just him and the security guard, and she got to leave work to go pick him up.
Ain't
Now,
that
I'm
something?
in town. I done pulled up. I'm like, well, what time he get out so I can go get him so you ain't got to leave work? I go pick him up. He happy as hell. He done jumped in the car.
He done
We
had a
playing
Happy
music.
Meal in it.
Look, I done brought him a little gift. He happy. Look, it's 2 months after Mardi Gras. He got on a pair of beads that light up. He happy. He good. You done pulled your regular ass up in a Crown Vic with the previous parish goddamn sheriff department that been peeled off of it. And you think you supposed to pull up and talk crazy to me? But I had to do a double take. Look, I had to do a double take because when the motherfucker pulled up to my nigga, who told you to pick up my son? I said,
Who you talking to? You talking to me?
look, but then here's the thing. This way you know a son that lost respect for his daddy because he didn't look at me and say, don't talk to my daddy like that or none of that. He stood next to me, looked up at me, and was like, shit, I'm up here with you, shit. I don't know what he talking about. For real.
Ain't happened to me.
Because the thing
No,
about
I'm-
it
I
is,
looked at Pickle. I said,
them
Pickle,
kids,
you got to get out the car. Your grandmama tripping and disrespect me. I ain't finna have. She talking about, so I ain't going with you. No, little girl, your mama said to get out and go in your grandmama house. She talking about, man, I said, little girl, get out the car. Oh,
Look,
before your mama,
man,
your grandmama
them
got
kids,
something to me.
them kids know who there for them. Them kids know who
Right.
there for them. I
Right.
had one
Put
baby
the
dad.
girl out the car.
I had one
Mhm.
baby dad, Jonathan. I told him I was gonna make a special trip to New Orleans just to slap the shit out of his face.
For real.
What is it with you and Phil always want to slap these dudes?
Man,
Phil
AB,
Ross.
when I tell you
Tell her
on the phone, on the
said,
phone
hey,
talking
AB.
ridiculous. On the phone talking ridiculous. I told him, I say, nigga, this weekend, I'm gonna make a special trip to drive down to New Orleans and slap the shit out of you. I told him I ain't gonna fight
For
you.
real.
I'm gonna come down to New Orleans and slap the shit out of you and
And I'm
show
an
you
open
you a
hand
bitch.
slap.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
an
gonna
open
show
hand
you
slap
you a
too.
Baby
bitch.
power.
I'm
He
open hand
called.
slap
He
too.
called back. He called back about 3 hours later and apologized. Oh man, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I
I'm
bet
so
you are.
sorry. Cause I was serious than a
Mm-mm.
motherfucker. I was serious than a motherfucker. I was gonna take that 5
Serena
hour
Dallas,
drive.
you are crazy. Some of shit. We scared of her.
Mm-mm. Look, for
That,
real.
y'all, don't act like that because people always understand what woman beat. I heard yesterday I was woman beat. I said, are we still with this same lie? And why are y'all telling this lie? I ain't never put my hands on nobody that
And
didn't first
Wendy
put their
Karen,
hands on
I
me.
said A and B, as in 1 and 2, not A B, as in A and B.
Hey, she meant A and P. She meant A and P.
Mhm.
So, y'all, I'm just listening. Let me tell y'all. If you know you don't have your kids under control for you in your household,
Don't
stop
bring nobody else in
expecting.
there.
There you go. Period.
For real.
Get your children, or wait till they grown and out of your house doing their own thing before you decide to date someone seriously. Because no one has to put up with
Because
you
at
and
the
your
end of the
children
day,
bring to
I
the
think it's
table.
beautiful. I have no control over how many children a woman has or nothing else. I think it's beautiful. If you taking care of them, it's beautiful. If you are co-parenting, it's beautiful. All of that. What I'm saying is, if I see a bunch of them little motherfuckers, and then I got to see they daddies too, and then I notice they daddies ain't shit, I'm not supposed to put up with you, your children, and the daddies.
Because I know you got bad decision making skills anyway.
Shit, you got bad decision making, but then you gonna wait till I get there and try to act like I got to be Jesus Christ and be nice,
And be
man.
nice
Fuck,
to your little ragged ass
fuck,
children.
fuck you, fuck them
Team, fuck them
children,
kids.
fuck they daddies, fuck they mammies, fuck the post office people
Flag
that
number
drop off the
37.
checks.
All right,
I don't know.
people. The executive producer has a disclaimer that the views expressed by the Honorable Trap Gentleman are not the views of this show. The views expressed by Kane are not the views of this show. Please do not flag this live. If
They
you want to see
mammies.
this podcast next week, we do not want Adrian Burton in jail, people. Okay. Do you want to talk about I have yesterday?
Oh, my bad. Because I did talk about slapping motherfuckers, did it? My bad. I'm sorry.
I had something I really have to get to. Go
Okay,
ahead.
go ahead. Go.
You go with yours first.
No, it's you yesterday when you said that you had a story to tell. When you tell your story?
Oh, I ain't telling that story here. I got to write that shit down. There's too many stories about these sweet folk niggas. I got stories about entertainers, pastors, vocalists, musicians.
Okay, well, go on get to what you need to get to.
If I
We'll
start,
do a live later after dark.
Tiffany Denise told me I need to start writing. I told her maybe I need to do like 15-minute blogs to talk about a different segment every day. I will.
Go on with the next topic.
Don't
Wait for
So
the
what
live after dark.
what
People.
it is? Submissive something? What was it?
Man, I was told some things about myself yesterday. I was like, oh, we still lying on Adrian? Damn, how many years?
Can we keep that going? Yeah, for real. So
And
what's
most
the
of it is
submissive?
girl Pam fault. It's all
Uh-oh.
girl Pam fault.
How is it my fault?
Because they say I'm cheating on you and you don't know. And I was like, how am I cheating on you and you don't know when you always with me?
Yeah, AB, I seen a post. I seen you post something that say, AB, who you fucking? Y'all? So all you motherfuckers having orgies and shit.
And we don't even know.
You, Pam, Jonathan.
Wait a minute, wait, what?
I don't know who all in it, but I wish they
all
would
having orgies.
I promise you, ain't no dingling touch me in over 30 years. So y'all tell them to tell. But you know, I'm gonna keep it real low frequency. Since
So
my
you
mama
cheating
and
on me?
I am. I'm cheating on you with you, unfortunately. Let me tell y'all the worst part about being married and being monogamous and being. Let me tell y'all.
What? Go. What
Let
is
me
the
tell
worst
y'all
part
the worst
about?
thing. When you get pissed off at your partner and you want to go cheat, but you don't go cheat, like you be so mad and be like, I wish I had somebody to call. You didn't emptied out your phone. Ain't no holes in your Rolodex. You got to sit in Walmart parking lot like this.
I'm just
This
gonna
where
call my weekend
I be
husband.
sitting there, call him, please. I be so
Hey,
happy
AB.
when Jonathan
Hey, AB.
This call
one
is
of my exes,
disconnected.
one of my exes was mad at me. She was mad at me. She went and slept on the couch. I was laying there. I was like, God damn, I'm horny. I went in there, pulled that goddamn cover off her ass, pulled them panties down, got that ass, and went right back and got in the bed. I still don't
Now
give a
that
fuck.
sounds like something she would do.
I don't give a damn if you're
But
mad.
it's at the point when I be mad right then, I don't have nowhere to go. All my friends are her friends. I can't go hang out with Jonathan because she gonna be like, so Jonathan, you with Adrian? And then Jonathan is like looking just like that. So where's Kane? Huh? Y'all, do you
Daryl
know?
gonna be with y'all too?
And then Daryl non-innocent ass. So Daryl, what did y'all do today? Now Pam.
Daryl, like he gonna give it away because he
Daryl
gonna be like he gonna be smiling. So I'm gonna
If
know.
I am ever in trouble, I will not go to Daryl for the lie. Daryl LeBeau Jr. can't lie worth the damn. And if I'm just like, Daryl gonna tell. Daryl scared girl back.
Daryl say he the innocent one. He ain't in there.
He gonna tell. So
Look, he gonna rock his foot. He
do
gonna
what
rock
you
his
normally
foot and
do.
drink
You
his
normally
drink.
come sit in the living
I
room.
come sit in the living room, but then I go sit out in the car and start the car. Now I got exhaust all in my throat. God,
this just means that you are no longer in the streets. That's a good thing.
You know how crazy it feels to not be in the streets? It's been a long time. And I looked at this was me and my phone. I was like,
Why are you looking at the phone? I had a passcode.
Exactly. Oh my God. Somebody help me, please.
AB, get you a she shed, man. Get you a she shed.
Okay.
All
She
you
don't
need
want
is
to
a
go
she
nowhere,
shed.
people. She is happily married. I'm just saying.
All I'm gonna say is you probably want to leave that whole situation alone because at the end of the day, you gonna mess around and bag out the yard and both tires in the front gonna come off and you gonna be confused. So you probably just don't want to do that. Just leave it alone.
I I got something I have to share with you guys that I am very upset about, and I have been talking about this for weeks. I let it go. It's been brought up again, and they are really starting to tick me the hell off. And I just want everybody to see this. Okay? All right, here we go. Here we go. Y'all read that. Y'all read that out loud, Kane.
What the hell? I'm trying to
Oh, boy.
bonus holes. What the hell is a bonus hole?
Hey, I had so much fun with y'all tonight. I'm
What
out.
the hell is bonus holes?
I'm out. I'm out.
I'm
I'm done.
confused.
I'm done.
So,
I'm tired.
Well, what do
order-
y'all think about what
Hold
Jess
on.
Hilaire said?
So, in order for, and I don't care what your title is, in order for trans women, men that are turning to women, and non-binary and whatever all of that shit means, in order for them to feel comfortable, they said are trying to implement a rule that doctors should tell women, real women,
Natural born
natural,
women.
y'all see these ain't fake.
Yeah.
Hey, goodness gracious, that us natural born women with boobs and vaginas, that doctors should call our vaginas bonus holes.
Bonus
So,
holes.
but why is it ours a bonus when we're born with them? Why aren't they the bonus?
Mhm.
Why can't they call? And so, yes, Carla, people are mad at Jess Hilarious because what was her comment?
She basically said that
She said
that women like us are natural women and the trans women are not natural women, basically.
Yeah.
Basically
I
that. And
mean, hell.
everyone is upset with her. Now I'm not standing with Jess Hilarious because we've had a couple issues with Jess Hilarious back in the day, the Deltas have, because she was a little out of order because she thought felt some type of way about this crimson and cream and how it was okay for her to violate this crimson and cream, and she went all the way left, and she been coming for the Deltas ever since somebody brought it to her attention about what she was out of order with. So I ain't necessarily standing with Just Hilarious because I stand with my sorrow. So, but
you do agree that they're being ridiculous.
Sharina say we fight.
Just,
Right, Sharina, that shield runs deep.
it's just so much. It's just so much to keep up with. It's so much to try to keep up with all the different terms and everything else. But for us to get to a point to where, like I say, I'm trying to be very careful. But we getting to a point now where we just ain't got no.
Now we being careful.
Hey, it's a difference.
We trying.
It's a difference when
Okay,
you play
it
with.
is.
Yeah, you don't play with them. What I'm saying is that it's to a point to where some of us are losing every respect or every standpoint to be respected in humanity. And so, as much as I am an ally and I want to understand and I want to learn and everything else,
For the
I'm
LGBTQ,
I'm
whatever community. However,
I don't mean no harm, but somebody got to give me a book. Is it a good book I can get or something that I can understand? Because I be
went
tired.
online.
Because I be wanting to do things the right way. I really do. But I be
Let me tell you
tired.
what's so
I
funny
really
about
do.
this. You're just an advocate and you need a book and you be tired. I'm considered to be part of the community and I need a book and I'm tired.
Ooh, I'm tired. Ooh, I'm tired.
Because
Oh my God.
I think that I,
Thank you.
oh Lord, it's too much. The labels, the
And you know
different
what?
changing of labels every other
That's
month, every
that's
other
really
year.
that's really a trip to me. That's really a trip to me that you say that all the time, AB, and like you say, you are part of the community, and it
And I
really
can't keep
frustrates
up.
you.
It
It
fr- it
frustrates you with all the different
Oh
stuff
my
that goes
gosh,
on.
it
It's
frustrates
just
the hell out of
crazy.
me because you want people to completely change their thought process and how they were raised. Now we have
This
advocates.
is what she said. Womanhood
Womanhood
belongs
belongs to
to
natural
natural
born
born
women.
women
Yeah,
only.
that's what she said. We want people to change their thought process,
All
but
right.
why? You can't make people instead of trying to make people change their thought process, how about we just change the way people think about us individually? Meaning, you look at me, you don't look at me as gay AB. You don't look at her as gay girl. You look at me as
A
Adrian.
person.
You know me, AB. You know me for
Hmm
30 years. I'm good to you.
Wait a minute, let me
I'm
say
good
this.
to my
That's what
circle.
we hope people see us as,
Well, yeah, that's
Adrian
what.
and Pam, because that's the hurdle that I have been facing since I have been with her, is that
Right.
people would stop looking at me now as a lesbian or a person that's in love with her instead of Pam. They now look at me differently. So we hope that people will see us
Yeah,
as
I don't care
Pam
what
and
label,
Adrian. Yeah.
because these labels, I don't care what a
Right.
person
Sharita's like, we scared of
labels.
AB. That's what we see.
Sharina, I am not that hard of a person. I am really a sweetheart
Right.
most days. Some days. Um,
Right.
I want people to stop trying to make people think the way they think, or think
Right.
or act on what they act on. Take a
Right.
person for who they are to you in your life.
Mhm.
It
Right.
doesn't matter their life choices, whether they gay, straight, or other. I'm a woman. I have 3 daughters that I raised as a single mother.
Mhm.
I don't want a
Mhm.
man who is trans who still has his penis to be in the bathroom with my 5-year old daughter. I'm sorry.
Right.
And me.
That's real.
If you don't like that, I don't want that, that's your problem and your issue.
Right.
He's still a man, his penis still gets hard, and at no point of
Hmm
time does he have the right to be in the bathroom with my 5, 10, 12-year old daughter. The
Mm-hmm.
same
Right.
as a man dressed as a woman with his erect penis in the bathroom with my grandson, who will soon be 5, 6, 7 years old. I got to stand outside the door. Well, actually, when Tyler was growing up, he went in the ladies' restroom with me and went in the stall by himself. He didn't go in the bathroom by himself. We didn't do that.
Right.
Mhm.
However,
Right.
what I'm saying is, you can't make people feel comfortable about what we know to be uncomfortable.
Right.
Mhm.
Meet people where they are, respect
That's
people
it.
where they are, and stop forcing your thoughts. I didn't force my homosexuality on my family, anyone. I am who I am. If you don't like it, you don't have to ever come around me. You don't have
Yeah.
to ever
Yeah.
come in
But
my
respect
household,
it. If you don't
but you
like
have
it,
to
Hmm
respect me.
if you
It
don't want to
is,
deal with it, that's fine. But you have to
you
respect who
have
I
to
am.
respect me. And at the
That's
same
it.
token, I don't want to see heterosexual people lip locking, tonguing each other down. I just have never been for all of that PDA. We can kiss, we can hold hands, but if you got to put your tongue down my throat in front of your son or your mother to make sure
Yeah.
and
Real
confirm
talk.
that you're in a relationship with me, it's something wrong with you.
Mm.
There is a time and
Especially,
place for
especially when we
everything.
live in a, especially when we live in a world where it's too easy for you just to respect the person next to you, no
That's
matter what the situation may be. I mean, and this is off a little bit from that, but that was just like we was in Arkansas, and we went in, and I completely forgot we walked into a place that had kids in it, and I was using profanity real loud. The dude was respectful. He walked up to me and said, "Hey,
yes.
don't mean no harm." He's like, "But we kind of got kids in here, so if you can kind of hold it." I said, "You know what? You're right. Thank you. I appreciate that."
Was I
There
there?
was a hush,
Yeah,
man.
that was in
So
Arkansas.
yeah,
I don't remember that at
Yeah,
all.
the guy, but he was
Pam must
but
have
very
he
been
did, but
cordial.
he
drunk.
was,
Pam was
but he
drunk.
was.
Not
We
Kane.
was.
We
Kane.
was at the
Huh?
I have
arcade.
never been in drunk in public.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Wait,
Jonathan,
what?
don't be looking like that.
Okay.
Wait,
Hey,
what?
way to go. Keep going, Jonathan. Keep going.
Yeah, yeah.
Keep going. You're
But
doing good.
boy, that just threw me for a loop. But
Well,
what it was a space of respect. He wasn't loud. He was
no.
real cool. He was respectful. He was like, "Hey,
And
just
he
let you
said,
know
I
real
have
quick."
kids in here. And he came back later. When we got off the track, he was like, how'd you enjoy yourself? We talked
Mm-hmm.
another 20 minutes later. He was
Right.
not disrespectful at all. He just wanted us to know it was a family
Right.
environment. He had children
That's
there.
it.
And then he didn't see the other folks who was getting irate, and I was like, oh, he better not see him. The little speed racing family that was knocking us all off the course that they took Daryl out the first time.
Mm.
but
Right.
he was very
Right.
respectful, and that's all you can
Right.
do. Just respect people.
Right. And so it
Whether
goes back to what we're saying about just the connection between, the community and us or whatever. Like, just have respect and let's just figure it out together. But to get
yeah,
to the
but
point to where you want to disregard us and disrespect us and not educate us, but you just want to bash us because we don't understand, because things are changing almost every 36 minutes. I mean, we want to know what's going on and how do we keep up?
right.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Yeah.
with that being said, Jonathan, Kane, Jonathan, I'm coming to you first. Final thoughts. I know we got to get out of here. Jonathan, final thoughts. 'Cause this is crazy.
Wait, what she say? What she say? Don't do Pam. Okay, so what we're about
We
to
Come
talking,
on.
Kane. Hey, Alicia, what's up, YG?
no, just for the show today. Now, at the end of the day, when you are in somebody else's house and their name is on all the bills, one of the most important things in the world is that when you go out there, send that child out or that person out sometimes to go get all the mail out of the mailbox. When they go get all of the mail out of the mailbox and it's all the bills, they need to look at the names that are on there. They need to open the mail and look at the bills and see that there's a zero balance from the month before and that there's a new bill, and then also be able to say that you don't have any money to go on the new bill.
Come on now.
Once that
No
is
money,
established,
children.
right. So once that is
Even
established,
the
you need to
working
know
children, you
that
ain't got no goddamn money.
that's it. Respect the grown-ups in the house. I don't care what you do, how you do it. If at the end of the day, if you are not trying to, now if you're gonna sneak, kids gonna sneak. They're gonna try to sneak somebody in the house and play on your top. But if you think that you have the right, no matter what your age is, to be in somebody's house that pay the taxes, take care of everything, put the food in the refrigerator and everything else, that you gonna hunch and act a fool and cuss and all this other stuff in somebody else's house, go find you your own house so the bills
And
can come
something
in the
safe to
mail
do.
with your name on it and find you something safe to do. That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
That's my ending words for real.
Kane, final thoughts. Final thoughts.
I don't have no final thoughts. All I gotta say is, hey, people.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't
That's
cuss
all I
for
got to say.
37. He didn't
Hey,
cuss for 37.8 minutes.
hey,
He talking about,
hey,
hey,
For real.
people.
hey, people.
For real.
How
For
y'all
real.
doing?
We miss you, Kane. We miss
I
you,
miss
Kane.
y'all.
Kane,
I've been peeping in. I've been peeping in, seeing what y'all
look,
been
he
doing.
been peeping in, but he was wrestling with them old stinking ass dogs on Wednesday. He ain't had
Well,
time
you
to.
know
For
what?
real.
Check this out. Oh, y'all don't even know. I'm gone from over there.
I know. You told me. You gone. You
So
said that
Yeah,
was
did,
a
man.
wrap.
So you went on and picked up the other one that you were telling us
yeah. I'm
about?
over. I'm over
Man,
in Bossier Parish, working for the parish
congratulations,
over
big
there
dog.
now. Yeah,
Congratulations, big dog.
making me
Congratulations,
a little
Kane.
bit more, making a little bit more cheddar. I had to run with the money.
Hey, that's
And
what
the
you're
hell
supposed
with
to
them
do.
old stinking ass dogs.
Fuck
For
them
real.
dog and them peoples. And them peoples that was hard headed and didn't want me to get their dog. I almost had a fight with one of the dudes before I left there, y'all. Man, that dude told me, look, that dude told me, y'all, I hit his dog in the mouth with the catch pole. Pow! He said, nigga, you hit my dog. He said, nigga, you hit my
Kane.
dog. I told him, I said, nigga, I'm finna come in that yard and get that dog. If that dog try to
For
bite
real.
me, I'ma hit that bitch again.
You gonna get him again. You
Jonathan,
gonna give him
Jonathan.
a 2-piece then.
He told
For
me,
real.
he said, nigga, I got good hands. I got good hands. Man,
Come
I put
use
that
them.
laptop on top of the truck. I put that catch pole down, and I told him, I said, well, bitch, let me see your hands then. Y'all, that's when I knew I had to go, because I'm going to beat somebody up.
Time to go.
For real.
We
For
had to
real.
go. Kane
For
is
real.
stupid.
Oh, boy.
Goddamn final
For
thoughts.
real.
Kane said, I knew it was time to go.
Mm-hmm.
The final thought, the word of the day is respect, people.
Yes.
That
So
is
live.
the word of the day. The most important thing you can do for someone is respect. That's the most important thing.
Mm-hmm.
My final thoughts are respect across the board and boundaries. We love our children to death. However, if you cannot respect our household and our rules, you got to go. Just
That's
that
real.
easy. I'll never turn my back on my children. I don't think it's turning my back on our children when we have healthy boundaries and let them know that you cannot do whatever you want to do just because you're my child. This is my house and
Mm-hmm.
my wife's house, and if you don't like it, you got to go.
Is what it is.
Also, I don't have a bonus hole. I just have a vagina. And if you have a problem with me calling it a vagina, then there's something wrong with you. There's no bonus.
For real.
It's not like it detaches. I can't put it back. I can't take it off. It's not a bonus. It's
For
not
real.
like the Barbie, and they say they talk about this in the Barbie movie, which is why it's so controversial. They talk about Barbie and Ken not being
Mm.
anatomically correct. I've been talking. I ain't like Barbie since I was little. When I opened her legs and it wasn't no split, and I
Wait,
said,
wait, wait, wait. Why were you opening the Barbie leg?
"Hell, I guess I knew I was getting in." I used
She
to be
was
so
I used to
checking.
make my I used to make my cousin Barbie dolls. I used to make my cousin Barbie dolls hunt.
Okay,
yeah, that's what
okay.
I'm saying.
Even
I
though
would
they ain't
take
got the
Barbie
part,
doll head. I
I
would
used
take
to
the
have them
heads
hunt
off
them.
and throw the heads in the closet. I didn't want that. And can you say? I mean, I would open to look because I wanted to see if they were like us.
They
And
ain't
it
had
wasn't
no
no
slit.
splits there, and
They
it
ain't
ain't
had
had
no
no
slit.
split.
Ken ain't have no feet either.
Ken didn't have Ken
Ken
looked just
just
like
got a
Barbie.
Ken just got a little bump right there. He got a
Let
bump.
me tell
Ken
you.
looked just like
You know,
Let me
Barbie.
tell
I have
you.
never owned
Let me tell you.
a male doll.
Some of y'all people on y'all Facebook page need to be built the same way because they ain't doing nothing with it. So
Bye,
they need
bye,
to be built.
Jonathan. Y'all have a good night. We appreciate y'all. We love you. And
When my girl come back from California, I'm gonna ask her. Let me get some of that bonus hoe.
That's
Let
the
me see
reason
what she
why
gonna
you
say.
on here tonight, cause your woman out of town.
No, I was gonna come in anyway. She was out of town, but I was gonna come in
You
anyway.
available tonight because your girl out of town.
Look,
See, that's how they do you right there.
pimping.
the truth come out.
That's how they do you, boy. I tell you, we got time for us tonight.
Before I get out of here, I would like some of my proud members of the D9 to inbox me or reach out to me. I have a very important conversation I want to have about the D9 National Panhellenic Council. That all the Greeks, from top to bottom, left to right. I ain't gonna mention. I need the Greeks to shout out to me because I'm tired of people renouncing. I saw a post. I'm gonna put the post out there. And they're acting like, why should people be excited that they're crossing or becoming Greek later in life? And they said it's not, it's artificial if you do it
I
after a
saw
certain
that.
age versus doing it in college.
It's not
And
artificial.
that's why I
I
was
saw
like,
that.
I want to have this conversation, but I want it to
You
be a
what I will
respectful
say, you
conversation.
get the same rights and privileges no matter if you're 20, no matter if you're 65. The same rights and privileges are extended to you no matter
And
what
Kane, I
time you
want you
get it.
on there for this because you're a Mason, and I want because
Yeah, yeah.
somehow in the black community they do accept and respect Masons and Eastern Stars more than a lot of times they do the Divine Nine. Those that are real
Mm.
churchy. Now let me take that back. Those that are real churchy, they will respect Masons and Eastern Stars, but
Well,
they won't respect fraternities and
the
sororities.
thing about Masonry and Eastern Stars is if you truly know about everything, we are actually considered the fathers of the fraternities
Correct.
because we were around. We, of course, us as black men, Prince Hall Masons. That is,
Say the right thing.
yeah, Prince Hall
Hmm.
Masonry. That which is black affiliated. We were, like I say, we are the founders of all the fraternities and all the sororities that there are. Most of the guys who founded that, they were actually Masons and things of that nature. So that's why we call ourselves the fathers of all that.
But you still gotta wear a skirt for Eastern Star as well.
I don't want to. My people. Y'all have a good night. I'll talk to y'all. Deuces. Girl, what